The power went out just before midnight, leaving the house wrapped in a sudden, heavy silence. The old ceiling fan stopped with a soft click, and the room felt warmer, closer. Ethan lay awake on his bed, staring into the darkness, listening to the familiar sounds of the house. Wood settling, a distant dog barking, the slow ticking of the clock that never seemed to stop. From the other room, he could hear his father coughing, a dry, tired cough that came in short bursts. It made Ethan's chest tighten. He hadn't noticed how often that sound had become part of the night. Ethan's father, Mark, was sitting on the edge of his bed, rubbing his hands together. His palms were rough, cracked from years of work, and they ached in the heat. He thought about getting up to check on Ethan but stopped himself. His son was grown now, independent, distant in ways Mark didn't know how to cross. Kindness, Mark had learned, sometimes meant giving space, even when every part of you wanted to step closer. Unable to sleep, Ethan finally got up and walked to the kitchen. The floor felt cool under his bare feet. He poured water into a glass, the sound loud in the quiet house. As he turned, he saw his father standing in the doorway, slightly hunched, his face half lit by the moonlight coming through the window. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence wasn't uncomfortable, just full. "You okay?" Ethan asked softly. Mark nodded, though the movement looked heavier than it should have. "Just couldn't sleep," he said. His voice was calm, but tired, like it had been worn thin over time. Ethan handed him the glass of water. Their fingers brushed, and Ethan felt how warm his father's skin was. Too warm. Mark noticed the look on Ethan's face and smiled gently, the kind of smile meant to reassure others, not himself. They sat at the small kitchen table. The chair creaked under Mark's weight. Ethan watched his father drink slowly, each swallow careful. Memories came back without warning. Being a child, sitting at this same table, his father tying his shoelaces before school, fixing broken toys late at night, sitting beside his bed when he was sick. Mark had never said much in those moments. He had simply been there. "I never thanked you," Ethan said suddenly. His voice shook, surprising him. Mark looked up, confused. "For what?" "For everything," Ethan said. The words felt heavy but right. "You always made things easier. Even when you were tired. Even when I didn't notice." Mark's eyes softened. He looked down at his hands, turning the glass slowly. "I didn't do it to be thanked," he said quietly. "I did it because you were my son." The power came back on with a soft hum. The light filled the room, revealing the lines on Mark's face, the gray in his hair, the exhaustion he tried so hard to hide. Ethan felt a lump rise in his throat. Time had been moving faster than he realized. Without thinking, Ethan reached across the table and placed his hand over his father's. Mark froze for a second, then relaxed, squeezing back gently. It was a simple touch, but it carried years of unspoken love, regret, and understanding. That night, when they finally went back to their rooms, the house felt different. Warmer, lighter. Kindness hadn't come in grand gestures or long speeches. It had arrived quietly, in the dark, through shared silence and a simple act of being present. And both father and son slept better, knowing that some distances, once felt, could still be closed.